Gasoline reached another record high today, hitting $4.40 a gallon, up nearly 50% from a year earlier. This as we await the key inflation data of the week. The Consumer Price Index for the month of April is out in less than an hour. Joining us right now is Georgia Congressman, House Energy and Commerce Committee member, and GOP Doctors Caucus member, Earl Buddy Carter. Congressman, it's great to see you. Thanks so much for being here.
It's always good to see you, Maria.
Yeah, and you know, I think a lot of economists are expecting that we will see a pull down from what we saw in March in this report. Maybe that's why Joe Biden wanted to get ahead of it, to look smart, because we are going to likely see inflation come down a bit because gasoline prices came off of the highs in the month of April. Assess the situation. Do you think perhaps today could be the beginning of inflation coming down, back down to earth?
Back down to earth, no. Maybe it does come down just a little bit, as you indicate, but no, it's not going to come back down to earth. Let's face it, this is a result of policies. It's a result of inflation. Joe Biden can try to deflect blame all he wants. He can blame the pandemic. He can blame big oil. He can blame whatever he wants to blame. But the truth is that when he took office, inflation was at 1.7%. It has gone up every month since he's been in office to a 40-year record high now of 8.5%. Listen, elections have consequences and policies have consequences, and we are suffering the consequences now of the Biden administration.
I was surprised that the president did not offer any new ideas yesterday. You know, he came and said, look, I want you to know I'm serious about inflation. Lee was just commenting that the background was like lowering costs, taking on inflation, all these, you know, headline one-liners behind him in the background. And yet he pushed his Build Back Better agenda again. Isn't that how we got here?
Exactly how we got here. You know, the American Rescue Plan that was passed earlier this year, it's estimated that added 4 percentage points to the inflation rate just by itself. And that's why I've introduced legislation today, the PAID Act, which will take $100 billion of unspent American Rescue Plan money and put it toward our debt. Our debt now at $30 trillion. You realize that last week when the Fed went up on the percentage, or 0.5% on the interest rate, in the stroke of a pen, the interest on our debt cost us $29 billion.
Yeah.
Just as a result of going up on the interest rate 0.5%.
That's right. Maya McGinnis was here with us from the Committee for a Responsible Budget the other day, talking about how this is going to become increasingly worse and worse coming up. Meanwhile, pensions are taking a hit, not just from inflation, but from the impact on the stock market, because stocks and bond markets are down. Pensions are down 4% in the first quarter. Retirement plans for teachers, firefighters, other public workers returning a minus 4% in the quarter. So this is being felt by everybody. What do you want to do as an elected official to make a change?
Well, obviously, the first thing we need to do is we need to do no more harm, no more spending packages, and stop this ridiculous idea about forgiving student loans. That's the first thing we need to do. The second thing we need to do is we need to encourage private innovation and private development. And the third thing we need to do is we need to balance our budget. I mean, we cannot continue on this track. It's simply not sustainable.
Yeah, well,
we've got to balance our budget. You know, we're in the middle of election season right now. Everyone running for office is running by saying, I want to balance the budget. I want to do something on our debt. And what happens? We get to Washington, D.C., and we don't do a daggum thing.
Yep. Well, people don't want things taken away that were given to them, like Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security. Congressman, we're going to be watching, of course, and we've got the reading out in about 45 minutes on inflation. We'll talk soon, Congressman. Thanks.